record corresponding to a particular book or a document could be an entry. So that entry, that kind of entries, what we normally call them as a database contains records, a set of records, some number. And these records, they contain a homogeneous structure, a common structure will be there. The layout, the format will be the same. But the data contained in them will be something different. That's a different story. So if a database contains several records, and each and every record contains several fields, like author field, title field, edition field, imprint field, something like that, isn't it? There are fields will be there. This is a database. Now, database contains records, records of information. Now, these records are really, we have arranged them, organized them in some manner. Then we are really trying to find out some information from them. When you really want to find out information from them, what you have to really do is you have to do some kind of searching. You have to make a search on the database. That's what exactly we call database searching. What you really going to get from the database? Now, whatever the records, whatever the information that you are really stored in the record, that information you are retrieving, that information you are taking it out. That is what we have to really understand as far as database searching is concerned. Now, in this, the most important aspect, what really happens is we may be really having the databases like reference databases. They contain only bibliography details, references. Abstracting and indexing databases, the abstracting databases may contain, apart from the references, they also really contain some brief abstract of each and every document also. That's called abstracting. Indexing database will contain only index part, but no abstract will be there in that. So reference database, abstracting database, or indexing database, followed by that, you can also sometimes have, what you can really say is, now in the database, you can store some kind of numerical data also, something like statistical data, sometimes you can really also preserve even photographs also, even some images also. So anything that is really been preserved or stored in the database is liable for a retrieval. Whatever you really store in that will be, we will be able to retrieve it. So you have stored only images, photographs, and then you will really get only images and photographs. So you can't get text or document, you can't get bibliography. So like that, whatever you store in the database, that only you will be able to really retrieve it. That is to be correctly understood. Okay. Now, in the library context, we will have bibliographic databases. We will have factual databases containing only facts, maybe statistical data, maybe numerical data, something like that. Sometimes our databases may also contain the full text of the documents also, full text databases. The entire text of the document also can be there in your, in your database. So databases can be full text databases. When I really say that, they really contain the complete text of the articles, books, journals, whatever you really say, whole text will be there in that. Now, bibliographic database means what? Not the whole text, only the metadata about the documents will be there in that. Factual database, you really contain only facts about something like numerical data or some other statistical data, some other things also will be there. If your database is containing only images, so you'll really be able to get only images. Okay? This is what exactly happens in our text. So now what happens? From the libraries context, normally we will be searching most of the bibliographic databases, or sometimes we will be searching also full text databases. So when we really search it, in the database searching, one of the most important aspect is we should be able to formulate, formulation means preparing. We should be able to formulate a search strategy. How to search our required information, we have to really make a search strategy. So search plan, when we really want to search, planning the search like. So in our search, what key concept should be there, what concept should not be there, okay, which kind of information you want from which date to which date, this kind of, the refinements in our search will be always possible with us. So there are searches are really going to give you so many other advanced facilities will also be there. The facilities is to, I want information only that is published in 1920 onwards only. Before 2020, I don't want any information. I want only information that is published from 2020 onwards, 2020, 2021, 2022 information only. I don't want anything like that. I want information that is published only in India. I don't want from foreign countries. Like so, like that, you can always have some kind of, you formulate your search query using your own requirements. What kind of information you really want, you can always stipulate that. Accordingly, you will be able to really get your data. I want information that is published from only in a language like, say, for example, English only, the language like only Urdu or Telugu only. Yes, you will get it like that only. So like that, these are all what you can really say is, these are the advanced facilities in the advanced search strategies. Like general search, all these things will not be there. When it is advanced search, all these filters are there, all these kinds of, avoiding unnecessary requirement, you can really get information what you really want pinpointedly directly. So that is what normally happens. Like so now there are many kinds of approaches, many kinds of methods by which a database can be searched for your required information. And then, of course, a search strategy is going to be one of the important components in the information search retrieval. Information search retrieval, in that search strategy is going to be one of the important components, and it can be both online databases. That means they are available through the net. I think internet. When you are searching database, that is online database. When you are searching something like maybe some CD-ROM or DVD based database are there, maybe the database are there, maybe in something like magnetic tapes or computer disks, etc. are there. When you are searching, also you can really use. I think this is what normally happens as far as your database search is concerned. Okay, of all those things, formulating the search strategy is really going to be one of the important aspects. Like now, now in so what exactly we really want to say is, when you really want to get information which is directly relevant to you, when you don't want any additional information than what you exactly expect from the database, you naturally have to have a proper search strategy is required. A good search statement is required. A good search query is required. Search query, search statement is required. For that, you need to have a good strategy. Okay, which and which words should be combined, which concept should be eliminated, which kind of language information is required, which type of documents. I want only journal articles, I don't want the books. Okay, like that you can always limit your the requirements while you are formulating a search query or search strategy. Like okay, now there are something to be called as, what I can really say is, now there are some basic principles of search strategy is there. Number one is the most important aspect is, when you really want to have an effective information retrieval should be what exactly you really want to know. That should only you get it. There's no further additional unnecessary material you don't want to retrieve it. You need to follow some principles. That's what they really say. The basic principles of search strategy. The most important thing is, you have a user with you. You imagine for some time you are the librarian, information manager. To you, a user has come to you and asking for some information. Like when the user is coming to you, the first important aspect is, you have to interview the user as to what exactly he wants from the database, from the library, from the database. What is his actual requirement? You have to interview him, you have to talk to him, you have to elicit from him what exactly he wants from the library. Many times what happens, users will not be able to express correctly what they really want. Sir, I am doing some research on something like what you can really say is food production. I think the cultivation of agriculture, rice cultivation in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, I am working on that. They will really come and ask. Now, actually, what they really want to say is these days, in these seasons, the rice crop has got some kind of pest, some kind of the pest has there. So some disease for the rice crop. Now that disease, I think how to really control that disease. What could be the extent of a particular, the fertilizer or particular, sorry, not fertilizer, particular kind of, pesticide I have to use. What is the component I have to really use? How much I should really spray there? How to really liquidate that, and then how to really, liquidify and then use it? How much for 1 acre of agricultural, that crop field I have to really use? That could be his requirement. He did not say all those things. What he said, sir, I want the rice crop diseases, sir, I want something. There are so many diseases. There are so many, treatment methods are there. So many, the kind of pesticides are there. So much kind of things are there. No, that is not the right way. Now, what you have to really do is, the first most important thing is, you try to really get from the interviewing the user, get what exactly he really wants. Once you really come to know that I want information on this very specifically, then you will be able to proceed to collect the information, retrieve information, search it, and then conceptualize the search topic. He says something, in his own words, that you have to really convert it into a kind of conceptualize the search topic. What could be the search topic exactly he is asking? You try to really formulate. When you visualize, you imagine, oh, these terms should be there in that. Then, of course, you also have to use the particular database aids. That's what the third point, what the third principle they say, that you can also use the database aids. Every database will have some kind of supporting things to search information. Like some will really say they give you some kind of aids, like expand on, you give a particular small word and then it will really give you expand, something like that. Now there are some other words, you can really say that I want the concept I just give, then near to that concept also it will really retrieve. So like that, we have some facilities are there. Try to make use of the facilities, the aids that are there in the database. Every database has got its own way of searching the information. Like they will give some facilities also for searching, like that. You should try to really make use of it. And then, of course, you interact with the system. System means database. Then you really apply your own search keywords and all those things. Then you apply it. Then also the next the next point is that the user system capabilities. You also have to try to look into it. What are the user system capabilities are there for that? And then that's how. Now these are the, what you can really say is these are the five, the basic the principles. Like first, you interview the user to know what exactly he wants. Second, you try to formulate a general kind of, the topic of, the research, like, the keywords. And then you also use the system vocabulary aids, tools are there. Maybe I think that will also help you to formulate your own search query using the systems. One of the thesaurus they will be really using. So when people say in their own words, you convert it into the standard terms used for indexing the document. Like that's what, using thesaurus, you really formulate this thing. Then you apply, interact the system means you apply with the database. And then of course you also try to look into it. What other facilities are there? What other capabilities are there with the kind of the database system? Then you try to retrieve. These are all what exactly we really want to say as far as your the principles of what is that? Principles of the search strategy. When you are going to search for information, this you have to really use it. Like now, there are basically what they said. There are two types of searches are there. One is initial search. Initial means the beginning search. You make a search for them. Then the search is not giving good results. What you really do, you refine it. The second is called reformulation strategy. First is you initially you submit a search query, some data has come, some information has really come. Then of course, if you are not happy with it, what you really do is you refine it, you reformulate it. These are the two things, like initial search and reformulating the search. These are two kinds of things are there. Okay. Now then what really happens is the databases may really contain sometimes the references, sometimes the actual documents also. They may be books, journals, reports, patents, thesis, and any other things can be there, whatever you really told them. So when you really searching an online catalog, okay, searching online catalog, if it is a kind of catalog in your traditional library, you have a library catalog. Online catalog is, I think, the catalog available to you on the internet. Maybe it is through your web opacs are there, online public access catalog available on the web. Therefore you call it as web opac. That means the opac is online public access catalog. Forget about all the times, when I say no, this particular catalog is available to you online. So when you really have to go for searching of these online catalogs, now the online catalogs are usually, they are menu driven. Menu means there will be some kind of list of things will be there. So how to search, they will really give. No, how to retrieve, then how to really ask for information, they will really give a menu. On the maybe one side, they really give all the icons, all the index terms. They really, index means what exactly? For search, you use this. For retrieving, they use this. Okay. For putting a search query like this, they will really give some kind of menu. If you go to a hotel, that fellow will give you a menu, isn't it? So uttapam is this much, vada is this much, idli. Like that, they give all the menu, a list of the items that what you can really do it. It's a menu driven, you have a kind of, items will be listed there. And then what you really do is you have to really make use of one of those items for which you are really searching the catalog. Like, so in the searching also, what you can really say is database searching. How you really search a database? The first most important thing what you can really want to search is specific item searching. Like, who is the author of the document. Okay, what is the title of the document. Say for example, earlier only I want say KPS Sundaram, so economic theory, I want a book. Okay, I want a book on KPS Sundaram economic theory. So I know the name of the author, I know the maybe title, maybe author, something I know it. So I am going to make a kind of search on the database for the known articles, like, so known documents, like, that's what exactly we say. Specific item searching is also called as known item searching. You know the author name. I want a Yandamuri Virendranath Tulasi book, isn't it? So you are specific about that book, you know it. Somewhere you heard it. You want to read it. Then you are asking for that. Otherwise, what normally happens, what are the books written by Yandamuri Virendranath? That's another way. You don't know which book, what is the title, etc. Okay, then all the books will really come. Otherwise, if you don't know any of the author, any of things, but you are still interested in, say, something like the novels, the recently published novels in Telugu. That's why also you can really search. So the recently published novels in Telugu means which document you are asking, which author you are asking, you don't know anything. It's an unknown item searching. Unknown item searches are subject searches. That's what exactly you want to see. So unknown item searches will normally, that is the largest number of people search the database only on the subjects, subject keywords only. I know the subject. I want something on cloning. I want something on nanotechnology. I want something on microelectronics. I want something on electronic circuits. This is my subject. So on electronic circuits, Milman and Halkias is one of the important core books. Those people who are working in engineering college, they will know it. Milman and Halkias book is on electronic circuits. I don't know the author. I am only asking on electronic circuits. What books are there in your library? Probably when you are searching, you come to know about Milman and Halkias book, isn't it? So like that, what really happens is the searching will be normally two types. One is searching for a known item, which you really call it as specific item searching. The item is document here. Item is a book. Item is an article. Okay. So specific item searching. That specific item, why you are searching? Because you know it. Therefore, you are asking for it. I don't know any book or any article, any author on that. But then what I really do, I use on a subject. So subject searches will be the more. The second one is subject searching, like searching on the subjects. Like when you are searching on the subjects, now you need to have, when a database when you are searching, the knowledge of the subject field you need to have. What is the whole subject? How many branches are there? How many sub branches are there? I think that kind of what kind of things are there in the database in subject you should really know. Knowledge of thesaurus system, because you know what normally happens is the database, in a database, the documents are indexed using a thesaurus. Thesaurus is used to give the headings, subject headings like thesaurus. Subject heading lists are something different. Thesaurus will give you a single, okay, single, the term entries will be really there in that. Okay, so that's what exactly what you can really say is, what is the thesaurus or subject headings list that is used while indexing the documents in preparation of your database. While preparing database, I use a particular indexing language, thesaurus or subject headings list, to indicate the subject of the document. Okay, then accordingly you prepare the index file. I user has come and I'm expressing the same subject in my own words, not necessarily those standard terms that are really been there in the thesaurus or subject headings like. Therefore, what really happens is when you are searching for a particular information from a database, you should know about the subject field. That subject contains, say for example, if you are talking about physics, physics has got the sub branches like heat, light, okay, electricity, magnetism, etc. These are the basic things: heat, light, sound, electricity, magnetism. I think these are all the 5 important branches are there in physics. You should at least know in light what other kinds of things are really be there. In electricity, what other kinds of things are there. You should really have a kind of broader understanding of subjective knowledge. That's what first one. Second one is that you should have, when you are searching for information from the database, in creating the database, which thesaurus is used, you should have a knowledge about that. They are using, say for example, for external relations, foreign relations, the indexing term what you have used from the thesaurus is international relations. So you should really have some idea on that. So the thesaurus knowledge also you should really possess. At the same time, the knowledge of the search capabilities provided by this catalog. So this particular online catalog, what kind of facilities are there in that? So that you will be comfortable that using those aids, those facilities, so you can really have better searching, like knowledge of the subject field in which you are going to really ask for information. Then knowledge of search strategies, how to construct a search query when there are multiple concepts are there, how to combine the keywords and then to make a kind of search like. So that way you should really be able to, what you can really say, these are all the subject searching. And then what you are normally going to search in the database is, you may search something like the subject, the heading, that field, so you can really search. Otherwise you can search on the title field. Otherwise you may search on the title author field. Otherwise you may search on the class number, subject keywords, maybe author, maybe title. On these things you will really make a search for your own information like. So when I say subject searching is using your own, keywords like. That is what exactly happens like. So this is what, there could be some kind of, searching the bibliographic databases like. What really happens is you have to have a kind of knowledge on how these basically the users will come and ask for information, how you have to really convert that into, the standard terminology, what are its synonyms, and then what are its broader concepts, what are its narrower concepts. I think you should have an idea on that. When you are searching a bibliography databases, means what? It will have only the bibliography details of the documents, not the full text. That is to be understood. So when you are searching for that, when a user comes and asks for some information, you should really have a kind of knowledge how to really convert the user expressed query into a searchable keywords like. That knowledge you should always have it like. Okay, then of course, when they have used something like birds, the body also can be really called as aves. You should have that knowledge, minimum knowledge, so that you can search either birds or aves I really want. Then you get everything. Okay, so like that, the synonymous concepts you should be able to really the correct spelling, alternative names. Okay, then of course both scientific and general terms. I think this kind of things we should really try to know it before you really go and check for your own information. Like, okay, now more than yeah, any query?
We are in which chapter, sir? 15th chapter only, no, sir? 15th unit.
This is 14th unit. This is 14th unit. The title is
MLISc 3 only, no, sir?
pardon me.
3 only, no, sir? Information processing and retrieval.
Yes, of course.
No, sir, I'm searching from long back onwards, but I'm not getting anywhere that topic what you are explaining in the class.
Go to 250 page number, unit 14, database searching, search strategy.
Can you repeat that page number, sir?
250.
Thank you, sir.
250, unit 14. Tell me whether you found it or not. Unit 14, database.
We find it, sir. We find it, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, I found it, sir.
Database searching, search strategy. So what kind of database are there? What is search strategy? How to search your database? How to search your OPACs, that is in online public catalogs, online catalogs. Now we are going to next step is how to search your bibliographic database. This is at page number 256. Okay, just come over there. 256. 256 is your page number I am talking about. Okay. Now in this, the searching bibliographic databases. Okay, I am talking about that now. Bibliographic database means, so their database can be factual databases, databases can be bibliographic databases can be full text database. That's what I told you earlier, isn't it? So now when you are searching bibliographic databases, because many a time what we really search for our users, mostly for the literature search and retrieval, we will be really using in majority of the cases only bibliographic database only. That means what normally they have their only kind of bibliographic references will be there, and they may also have the abstract of documents only, not the full text, not the full article, full document. You can't really find it from these bibliographical databases like. So when you are going to search it, that's what I am really trying to tell you. Now the most important thing is, you as an information manager or a librarian or an indexer, when people are really coming and asking for some information to be searched from the database, you should know the subject fields of your own, the members, what subjects they really want. My institution is an engineering institution. I should know all the engineering disciplines and know what, at least a broad idea on that. At the same time, what really happens is, when a user comes and makes a kind of request, sir, I want information on something like, the flight of the birds. How the birds will fly, isn't it? The flight of the birds. I think that's my kind of question. So birds, okay, the flight, what could be the alternative name for flight, alternative names by which it can be really checked. Okay, now then of course the another one is the birds. What are the alternative names that can be synonymous terms? Birds are called as aves. So flight, is there any other alternative name? So like that, you should be able to really convert the user given query question. You should be able to competent enough to convert that into the other alternative names by which the same concept can also be termed, isn't it? So that if one word, when I say something like in Telugu, I think when I say mother, amma, somebody also in colloquial rural areas, of course there's a different story. Somebody will really say Abba, so somebody will say some other word also. So we don't know. You should be able to really convert it into different words, all those synonymous words, both the standard scientific words as well as the general colloquial words also. You really use them. Either I want this word or this word, this plus this and not that. I think that way you really try to formulate your own search query. When I say this and that, this or that, this but not that. When I say and or not, these three, what you can really say is these are the Boolean operators, three operators. I want this and this combined. I want this or this. That means either A or B. Okay, either food or nutrition. I really want it, isn't it? So that way I should really format. I want food or nutrition, but not diets like. Diet is something different. When you are a patient, I think doctor prescribes you take this diet. So food is normal food, what you really take it like. Nutrients is something different. I think proteinaceous and valuable, vitamin containing things they will really give. So diet is something different. For a particular patient of that particular, the disease, you should not take, something like this. You should not take these sweet items, no fruits, nothing like that, no coconut. They will try. This is what exactly they say. Menu they give. You only take this buttermilk only. Some you not take only. That's what exactly the diet that is suggested by the prescription. Like. So like that, there is a slight difference is there. Diet, food, nutrition. Okay, the vitamin, all these things are slightly related, but they are different from one another. So like that, you should be able to have that knowledge. At the same time, you should also have the knowledge of the thesaurus of the database. When we are preparing a database, we use the thesaurus, isn't it? So thesaurus is having some standard keywords. Using those keywords, now the subjects are indexed and kept in the database. A user is coming and expressing in his own words. That own words terms, how it can be really, if you can really convert into the standard words, like what you have really indexed. Now, if you can really also convert those terms expressed by the user, if you can really convert into the thesaurus standard term, there is an easy matching will be there. They really match easily. So therefore, what really happens? Retrieval is going to be very convenient, easy like. So now that's what exactly you should really, a type of information required, what they really want. I want only articles, I want only references, I want only books. That is the number one you have to say. Then suitable subject coverage. I think whether if you read them, what they really want, if your selective collection is there, comprehensive collection is there. Okay, so then of course, so the next one is that the timelines or the time lapse between publication and, so how old documents you want? I want only the books or documents published, let me say in 2020. Afterwards only I don't want before that. So like that, then of course, how many number of years old documents you really want. Okay, then like that, you should have a kind of, you have to always try to look into it. And when you are selecting a database, you have to always look that the most of the good literature, which good database is really been indexing all such kind of things, which is really covering up-to-date literature, and which is convenient to say search and retrieve, whose costs are very justifiable, not very cheap, but at the same time moderate good cost, etc. These things, etc., you have to take into consideration when you are identifying your own database. So then going to the next component is now what we really want to say is a very important aspect you have to say. Now let me say in each and every subject in the present times, there are so many databases are there. We have a study in the, maybe in this chapter or next chapter, we have a in this only. Yeah. So say for example, what happens in library and information science subject, our subject. Okay. Now you have got LISA database is there. You can just look into this at page number 259. Okay. I'm giving an example now. I'm trying to give an example to explain to you now the database selection method and also how to make searches like. Okay. Now in this, what really happens is now in each and every subject, maybe chemistry, maybe economics, maybe library science, maybe you talk medicine, you maybe agriculture, talk any subject. In every subject, we have multiple databases are there. So many databases are there. Not one single database. There are many databases are there. A user comes and asks for some information. Just now I told you an example. So then what happens? So if you really search on one database, something like EBSCO database, you search it. Okay. It's not all. Now, somebody can also search ProQuest database. Somebody will also search on the Taylor and Francis database. Somebody will search on Project Muse. Okay. Somebody will search on, Web of Science. Okay. Somebody. So there are many databases are there which can give you information on a particular top subject like. Similarly, what I am trying to really explain to you is that if a user comes to you and asks for some information, searching one single database and giving a kind of search results or output is going to be inadequate. That is the point which I really want to make it. There are multiple databases are there, but in each and every database or between among the databases, there could be some overlapping also will be there. That means a part of the information covered in X database may also be there. A part of it also may be found also in Y database also. But Y database has got some other separate, a kind of exclusive collection is there. X database has some separate collection is there. In these two databases, some a fraction, some maybe 5% or 10% overlap also can be there, which we can't avoid. But at the same time, searching only one database and giving those search results to the user is always going to be inadequate, not sufficient. Okay. So therefore, what really happens? So in order to do justification, help our own users, you are expected to also use, consult, search more than one database. Agreed? Then, of course, in that case, we have an example here. So since there are multiple many databases are there on each and every subject, searching one database is not going to be sufficient. You need to really search for multiple databases in order to give a better output result, better, search results. So you have to really use more than one database. Same one example, I have got an example here in your own book, like, they have taken, searching the library and information science literature. Somebody has come in the library science fellow. He is really going to come and ask you some information. Say, for example, he wants to say that networking or preservation of, the manuscripts in public libraries in India. Preservation of manuscripts in public libraries in India. So preservation component is there. Different methods are there. Electronic preservation is there. Manual preservation is there. This preservation, etc. There are different. So like that, now what happens? So if you really want to find information on all these aspects, preservation, manuscripts, public libraries, preservation of manuscripts, public libraries in India. Okay, these are all the 4 or 5 keywords are there for us. Like, so if you can, there are the most important database, LISA. LISA, you should certainly know about this. LISA is Library and Information Science Abstracts. One of the best, the abstract publications is what brought out by, LA, Library Association from UK. Okay. So anyway, that is one thing. It's not sufficient. We also have in the recent past one advanced thing as LISTA has come. LISA, LISTA. That library information science, okay, and technology abstract. So in that technology component also really added there. So library information science and technology abstracts are there. That's LISTA is there. From India, we are getting an Indian library and information science abstracts. ILSA is also there. Okay, another abstract is there. What you can really say is that information science abstracts is also there. Okay, another kind of database is there. What you can really call it as library literature. It's a kind of indexing publication. There are no abstracts in that. So the earlier what I said, they are having abstracts. LISTA, LISA, ILSA, they are abstracting publications. So library literature is not literature. Library literature is an indexing publication from H.W. Wilson Company. Okay, so this is what from USA. So the first one, LISA, was from UK Library Association. So like that, when you really search at least 2, 3, 4, 5 databases to get exhaustive information on what people have really asked is going to be useful to you. If you can really search only one database and giving that will be only small information you are giving, not exhaustive information you are giving. That's what exactly you have to say that. Now, there is a need for multiple database searching for the librarians to search and retrieve information when people really come and ask you, because no single data
Sir. Sir, video struck, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's clear, sir.
Good. The power went off and the problem. Okay. No problem. Yeah, again, it's restored. Fine. So now the basic issue is that searching only one database and giving information to our user is always insufficient, because there are multiple databases are there on each and every subject. You need to search multiple databases, so at least a few, not all. Then you will really get at least a sumptuous information that you can really give to user like. So now when you really want to have a comprehensive literature search, comprehensive means in a bigger way, slightly exhaustive what you can do. When comprehensive information, when you really want, you naturally have to really search multiple databases. Okay. Now another important aspect is that there are some databases they cover on a particular subject as a core discipline, and there are some databases for them also the core subject is something different, but the subject on which you are thinking about it could be a kind of what you can a supplementary subject for the related subject for that, like, so that ancillary supporting subject, like, so all those kinds of databases you should really search, because no single database can be guaranteed to provide full literature on subject. One single database will be really helpful, because I said LISA, LISTA, ILSA, information science abstracts, library literature. I think there are many things out there. You have to really try to search at least a few, now if not all, then you will get information. The scope for the unique references in each service will be there. So each database will have some unique separate items will be there in that. But then, of course, when you really say these 2-3 things, some common also will be there. Some separate items also will be really there. Okay. Now, the changes in journal coverage, subject scope also will really varies. Like now, indexed in more than one journal, this happens. What really happens is same article may be available in more than one database. That's also really possible. Therefore, anyway, to have a bigger, the references, you need to have search more than one database. So always multiple database search is really going to be very, very important. Like here, one important aspect, which again we will be discussing a little later. One very important aspect you have to really look into it. I said for any user comes to your library and asks for some information, looking into one database is not going to be adequate, is not going to be sufficient. You have to search for multiple databases. Okay, that's number one. Now at this point, another important issue that what you have to really try to understand is every database, the way how the information is arranged, then every database contains not only the data or information records, but every database will have a software, a program to search and retrieve information. The search and retrieving information is something different for each and every database. The way how the records are arranged or filed in the database is also something different. So the records are different, the record arrangement is different, the record searching is also different for each and every database. So the database vendors or the database manufacturers, so they will not only put the data or references or full text in the document, but they also really give you what we can really call it as a software to search and retrieve. So the search and retrieval techniques for each and every database is something different. That means what happens when you are searching, say, for example, 3 databases. 3 databases searching is something different. You have to know about A database searching style, B database searching style, C database searching style. You have to understand that. So that is really going to be a difficult job on the part of the librarians to get themselves acquainted with all these database search techniques. Is really going to be difficult to overcome this problem. To resolve this problem, what is really happening is in these days, most of the databases are coming up with a standard protocol that's called Z39.50. That's called Z39.50 protocol is there. That is one protocol with which what happens now, if the database is Z39.50 standard, compatible, the database, then what happens? Once prepared search statement, search query for one database can be automatically used in other database also. You don't need to rewrite your search query. You don't need to use your own another search style of the particular database, because it is a Z39.58 protocol compliant. It complies with the protocol standard like. So therefore what happens, if you can really submit a question that is, you are used for one A database, the same can be also submitted to the B database also. But B database has that is because it is Z39.50 compatible, then it will automatically converts your own thing. And there can be also some kind of, prompting mechanism is there. When you use the particular word, do you mean to say that this word is equal to this word? Are you really asking like that, etc.? It will really take, and then it will really convert your query into the searchable database, searchable style, and will really give you the answers. Like this is one important thing you should really try to understand. Like, okay, so this is what normally happens. There are multiple databases are there, and when you really search information, you should be able to use that particular database style of searching only. But to overcome the problem, Z39.50 standard has come. It's a standard protocol for information retrieval. For information retrieval, a standard protocol has come. Something like your common communication format, which was there for preparing a mark record, it's a common format was there. So similarly, this is a kind of common way of interacting with the database and getting information like. That's what happens like. Okay, this is over now. I think we'll go on to the next unit. Unit number 15. 15th unit is what you can really say is information retrieval protocols, data mining, and data warehousing. This is the unit we are going to talk about. I have slightly touched upon Z39.50. We are again going to discuss slightly in detail here in this particular unit also. That's what I said. So now you know it. For searching multiple databases have got their own different methods of searching is there. To overcome the problem, the Z39.50 protocol, it's information search retrieval protocol that is really supporting the the users in getting with one single search query can be really applied for multiple databases without really changing into their own style. Automatically, the default, it really converts your own search query into the database searchable style only. That's what exactly your database, Z39.58 standard. Okay, we will come. What is that? Any question you have? Okay, now let's go ahead. So the in this, what exactly happened? We have to really talk about 2-3 things in this. One is the data mining and data warehousing, and also the Z39.58 protocol. Okay. Now when I say protocol means it's nothing but a set of rules are there. That's what exactly a protocol. Now these protocols, now when I'm talking about Z39.50, it's a kind of American standard, ANSI NISO. Okay, Z39.50. Actually, this standard name is American National Standards Institute, National Institute for Standards Organization, ANSI NISO, ANSI/NISO. Okay, this is American standard, ANSI NISO Z39.50. So this is a kind of standard protocol for searching multiple databases like. Okay, so this is one, it's a protocol, a set of rules how to exchange information between the different computer devices and the databases like. Okay, when you are searching information, how to really use this, that's what we. So most electronic information is stored in databases. That's a plain fact, and with their own unique record structure. That's what I really told you in the beginning only. Every database has got its own unique style, special style of arrangement of records. At the same time, every database will have their own kind of user interfaces. How to use the database? There is a user interface there. I am a user. Okay, I am using the particular database. So how to use and search and find, the interface is different for all the databases. Like, so when these are there, I think with the need come, now in these days, what is happening is there are powerful computer systems are there, and they are really being used to prepare the database and also for searching the databases. Now, so then what really happening is, in order to overcome the problem of multiple database searching differently for all the different databases, you are using the Z39.50 standard. Okay, we will just come here and try to really look into this. What is this Z39.50 standard? What I am talking now is about a standard protocol, that is really used to search and retrieve information. Like, it's a information retrieval protocol from the database. It's an information retrieval protocol. Protocol is a set of rules. Okay, protocol from the databases. Like, so now these days, most of the databases are now, most of the catalogs, most of the OPAC, most of the web OPACs, most of the databases, they are now designed and planned as a Z39.50 compliant. That means they comply with the Z13.50 style of asking for questions. Like, okay, that's what exactly is happening. So Z13.50 is a network protocol. Network is exactly you are more than one system. I am in one system. Other, the server system is somewhere there. I think we are trying to connect it. Like, it allows searching heterogeneous databases and retrieval of data. Now, what happens? Every database, the way the data records are stored is heterogeneous. So one database style of arrangement of records, other database style of arrangement is something different. We call it as heterogeneous. But within the database, it is homogeneous, same style. In this database, it is homogeneous for that particular database. So this database and that database have a difference. Like, that means heterogeneous. Like, so this is what really there. So this Z13.50 is helping for searching the heterogeneous databases and retrieval of data. And it is most often used for retrieving bibliographic records. So Z39.50 standard protocol is used for retrieving information from the bibliographic databases in majority of the cases. That means it can also be used for retrieving of the full text database records also. That is to be correctly understood. Okay, it is an information retrieval protocol, and it's developed to overcome the the problems associated with the multiple database searching. We have a problem in searching the multiple databases, like, isn't it? So you have to use one search technique for one database, another search technique for another database. Though the subject is same, you are searching, though the topic is same, but you have to use a different style of searching. Like, so to overcome that, this Z39.50 has really come into picture. Now, then another important aspect is to be really said here is that now it's an experimental protocol started in the 1970s. Okay, it came up and is an experimental protocol as part of the linked system project. So this is LSP. LSP is a linked system protocol for searching bibliographic databases and transferring records among. Initially, the LSP, linked system protocol, was used. So there are some three libraries were there: Library of Congress library, the online computer library network of WLN, and I think between these two, now they really want to share the records and exchange all those things. This LSP was used, linked system protocol. One protocol is really been linked with both the the what you can really say is the databases, so that the sharing of information took place. So that was the background and how this so between two libraries, when the sharing is taking place using this LSP, linked protocol, why can't we have multiple databases also? Can this kind of LSP can be used? So sharing of information, maybe for searching and retrieval information, how it cannot be used? So now that's how it was. Z13.50 has really been evolved, and the latest one, the third version, we really come up in 1995. As I told you earlier, it's an American national standard, ANSI NISO Z39.50. That is the standard. Like, so it works on a it's a client server model. Like, so there are two databases, two components are there. I am in searching for information from, say, for example, there is something called as a ProQuest database is located at some other place. I don't know where it is. Okay. Now I am sitting here in Hyderabad in my own house or my own department or something like that college. I am searching that EBSCO database, isn't it? So I am the client. Then when I really ask for information, the server database, that is EBSCO database server, has to give me the answer for me, isn't it? So the EBSCO server is nothing but that is a server. I am the client. My computer is the client, and the databases containing, that is the server. From that server, I am getting my answer, my output, like so. Now the Z39.50 protocol or the standard, it works on this kind of things, like one is a client, other one is a server. Client server model. This model is a client server model. Client has a question, has some kind of information. I want something. I prepared a question and I submitted. So my client PC computer, I have really put a question, and that question is really been delivered to the server. Server takes my question, understands what I am really asking for, goes and searches information on the server, and gives me back the kind of the answer taken from the server, like so. One is a client, other one is a server. So this model, what normally we really call it as, it works on the client server model. That's what exactly we have to understand. Now computing as a client server model, that has really been followed in that the client or Z39.50 parlance, the origin. Client is origin. The question is arising from me. I am putting question. That is, client means origin, and submits a request to another computer. So I am putting a question to another computer. That is server. Okay. That is called server. In Z39.50, we called a server. That is called target. So I have a question putting from, I'm a client from my computer. I am putting a question. That question goes to server. The server is really taking my question and then searching in the database and giving back the answer to me. That server is a server database. I am a client. That is a server. Okay, that's what exactly. So what normally we really say, in the client is origin, question is arising from me, origin. Okay, then the server, what we really call is a target. This thing is, I am putting a question to target is server. So client, server, or origin, and that is what you say target. Origin and target model, we normally call it as. This is what exactly the methodology or the model of this ANSI Z39.50 standard. Okay. Now they also called this very comfortably. You can easily remember this. This is ISO 23950. The standard also has been now. This is the American standard. That is Z39.50. Okay. That Z is looks like 2, isn't it? Okay, 23950. This is Z is like it looks like 2, isn't it? Z and 2 more or less looks same. So what they really said is, we can easily remember this ISO 239.23950. Of course, that point is not here. So ISO 23950 1998 is the it is has been now the Z39.50. Z is equal to 2 here. Let us say Z39.50 ISO 23950. Okay. It is considered as the international standard. Now it is being really practiced and used by all over countries. Like, okay, that's what you have to understand. Now, what happens? The benefits of this Z39.50 is the Z clients can send requests to several libraries simultaneously. The beauty of this is that I am a client. I can send my question to so many databases now simultaneously, and then of course all the databases will really give me back to my computer the answers, like so I can search with one query multiple databases. using this Z39.50, all the databases will receive my question. I have only shoot one arrow. That arrow is going to all the databases and they really answer and give me back one to me. All of them, they give me answer to me. So this is what normally happens in Z1350. The basic record format used in this particular, the databases will be mark record. Okay, all the databases naturally will use mark record, but mark structure. But record filing is different. Record structure is same. Okay. Then extended services are also there for ordering of document. When you really found a reference of interest for you, you can really make a request to send a particular document. Maybe sometimes, you may, I said I will pay $9 or $10, whatever the price is there, but first you send it to me. You can also make a request like that. So that some kind of, e-commerce can also really take place in this Z39.50 standard like. Okay. Now you can, this Z39.50 also facilitates, provides help for complex Boolean search also there, that and or not. That's what I really, proximity searching. So my X word and B word should be there nearby. Proximity means nearby. Okay. Truncated searching. Okay. Then truncated means what happens? Now I said COMP and close it like truncate. I break. Computer, computers, computerization, computerized, there are all other extensions will automatically really come. This kind of, searching facilities will be there. Then of course, it will help you to get all the, okay, the database, records, and then it can also help you accounting, and it also other things also really been there. There are some extended services also there. The extended services means you can save your question, what you really put to a database once for future request. Like you can save the query for later use. You can save the results also somewhere. You can really. So when you put a question, it has, these are the results have come. Results I am preserving. The question also I am preserving for, I can use it tomorrow. I can also set that, you put the same question to the database after 1 month and I can give me the back result. You can also really put a question. So order an item. You can really, I want some item that is I found in the references. I want that item. You can order it. Then of course you can use it for updating databases. Create an export specification. You can also send it something somewhere else. So this kind of facilities are also there in this what you call Z3950 standard has got so many facilities. Now, how to search and how to use some additional facilities. At the same time, how to save your, search query, how to save the results, what you really got. You can also put a kind of standing instruction to the database that, whenever after every 1 month, you have to give me any new items are there, etc. Like that, there are so many facilities are there. Okay. Now, what really happens as far as the libraries, now over the next few years, what people are thinking that all the OPACs, all the databases, we are expecting that almost all of them will fall in line following the Z39.50 standard only. So all the catalogs and all the OPACs and all the databases, if they really follow Z39.50, a single user sitting at one place, so you can shoot a question to all the databases for which you have access. You have subscribed to them. You can put a single question only once for all the 10, 20 databases. They will give back all the information to you without any inconvenience. That is what normally happens tomorrow. That's what really explained. Like people can really also think about union catalogs, interlibrary loan, on all the facilities can be always possible. So these are all something what we can really say as far as Z39.50 is concerned. Now there are some examples are here, how it really began and how it's really going on. Now one thing to be called as in the arts and humanities field, that is what they said, AHDS, Arts and Humanities Data Service. Now it's a gateway. Now in this, what really happened, actually then UK from London, any doubts? Okay, there are 5 different databases are located in different places. On most of them are on archaeology and history, etc. So one is at York Place. Another one is history. York, in the York we have a database on archaeology. On history you have a database on Chichester, and on performing arts you have a database in Glasgow, and visual arts you have at New. Is it okay now?
Okay, sir.
Is my voice is heard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, I think the power is now restored. We were on the generator till now.
Thundering.
Okay, that's all right. Now we will go ahead. So we have some examples are there, how this Z39.50 actually, how it really started, how it really works, etc. We have some examples are here. Just precisely, I will tell you. So in UK, in Britain, they have at least 4 or 5 different libraries are there. And in the 4 or 5 different libraries, they have 4 or 5 different databases are there. They are located in different places within Britain, London. Okay, one is in what we can really say is there's an archaeology relating databases in the place called York. There is a history databases in Chichester. There is another performing arts databases in Glasgow. The visual arts databases in Newcastle, and textual studies information is in Oxford. So Oxford is located somewhere, York is somewhere, Chichester is some other place, Glasgow is some other place. All these 5 are located in different places. All the databases are different. And one user wants to get information from all these centers. For that, this particular Z39.50 standard is really been, because all the databases are compliant with they are obliging the standard, they are following the standard. So when these databases, though they heterogeneous databases, records are different, documents are different, they are located in different places, but when you really want to search, you can search with one single search query. You can put the same question to all the databases located in different places. You can get the output from all of them. The results can be really get like. So this is one example, was really one of the oldest examples. Like similarly, Melville is what you can really see, University of California. They have at least some 2-3 centers were there. The California was University of California at Los Angeles, University of California at Santa Barbara, University of California at Irvine. Okay, in 3 places they have got different databases are there. Now, using this Z39.4 protocol, you are searching on all the 3 different databases of the University of California. It is in 3 places. Okay, so something like Delhi South Campus, and then some other North Campus, something like that. So like that, what really happens is you have got different locations, different things are there. Still, you can really search information and then use it like that. So this is what normally happens as far as your Z39.50 is concerned. And then of course the other facilities, what you can really say is now Z39.50, as I told you, it is working only on the client server model. You know it. I am a client using for asking for some information. Somebody is giving information. That is a server. Is a server. I am a client. Okay, that's a simple logic. Like so, since my question is going from my side, I am the origin. I think that is exactly the target. I am asking that particular database. Therefore, that is my target. So, like that, in these facilities, what they can initialization. That means you will really make a search initiation. That is what precisely called INIT, initialization. Okay, down that it is really. Then searching, retrieval, result set, delete. I don't want that. You can delete that set. Then browse, sort, access, control. Then accounting, resource control, explain, extended. These are all some of the kind of facilities are there in Z39.50. When you are searching for information, this how to searching initialization, that means starting a dialogue between my computer and server computer. I am starting a dialogue, I am starting a communication, isn't it? The link I am developing. So I am so and so, I'm from so and so, my my IP address is so and so, my authentication, like I am so and so, that has to recognize you. Then of course, then you start putting a question, like it has understand your question also. Then it has to go to a database and then come back and then give you information. Only when you really try to develop a kind of what you say, the communication channel link you have developed. That's what exactly we say: initialization, search, retrieval, okay, browse, sort, access control. These are something there. So of all those things, what you can really say, the three most basic, the facilities is what we can really say is initialization called init, search, and present. I want once you really join the kind of communication, then you put a kind of search query, then it will get back the data. Then in that also you can really say, I want that my output should be in ASCR2 format only. Okay, I want this should be like this, the output must be like this. That kind of things what you can really say is the third option, what normally we are calling it, is what you say, present the output in this model. Okay, so initialization, search, and present. Init, search, present. These are the three important components are there. Followed by that, we have some attributes are there. Like, what you can really say is, I want information only that is published after 1999 only. Okay, I want information not from India. Okay, like that you can always put no, I want something greater than this, I want something the less than this, etc. All these things, truncations, etc. These kind of things will always be supported by your Z39.50. So in this the process of working, what normally happens, though I have already told you, once again I will really try to explain to you. First of all, you have to establish a connection between you, I mean the client computer, and the server computer. Establishing a connection, that's number one, is required. Then initiating the Z39 session. Session is exactly a dialogue between you, me, and the database. That's what exactly initiating session. Negotiates expectations. I want this. Then it will really tell you, are you asking for this kind of information? No, I want this. Then you have a negotiation. Then client submits after, once you really try to, adjust your own question. When you put some words, it says, do you want exactly this particular concept? Are you searching for this? It says, no, I want this. Then it will really adjust now. Then afterwards, what happens, you submit a question to the the database. Then now client, that is, I am putting a question, that question will be converted into the database understandable the language. And then of course the database will really, server will really pass on the results to you. Then the results are created, and then you can really use it. We can store, you can preserve, you can send something like this. Is how the the Z39.50 protocol works between the server database and also the client. I am the client, server database is the information where the information lies, etc. This is what I just said about, as far as your what I said is the Z39.50 protocol. When you really search multiple databases, now you have to normally have to have a different search strategy to search each and every database. So when you are searching multiple database, this particular Z39.50 is helping you with a one single set of search queries. They can be applied to any other databases. Like you can really submit one query to many databases. They will really answer you because they are Z39.50 standard compliant. They follow that standard. Therefore, that is really been the retrieval is facility. Otherwise, what happens, you have to really learn that technique of searching A database, B database, use the same style again whenever you use it on different database. So that kind of problem will be there. This is what as far as your Z35. Anything, any doubts on this? Okay, then we will move on to the next component, is called data mining. Okay, now data mining and data warehousing is one important component. It is fast going, very important area, and particularly in a big corporate and business organizations, they go for data mining. Like coal mining. Coal mining. Gold mining.
Yes.
So in Karnataka, there are gold mines are there. What the place?
KGF.
Huh?
KGF. Kolar Goldfield.
Polar goldfield. You are right. You are right. So like that, no, what we really do is we will extract the gold ore, like iron ore. We extract the gold ore, refine it, and then we really bring out the gold, like, isn't it? So we are gold mining, coal mining. I think our Singareni college people does the same thing, isn't it? So gold mining, coal mining. What is this? Data mining. Understand now? So in data mining, what we'll unearth, what we'll take out?
Information.
Data. Data we will take.
Data.
Data we will take out. Okay. So what is really happening is data mining is essentially in this corporate world, bigger corporate companies, they are looking into the data and then trying to take this huge data. Now we are calling it as big data in these days, isn't it? Big data, big data. So we also call it as a data science also these days, that words are taken. So this big data analytics or data analytics analysis. So on data analysis, what happens? Now you are, so far unknown very important pieces of information which so far was hidden in the data, not known to us, very useful information that can be unearthed, found out, and can be used for both decision making and also for refining our own products and services in a better way. So that is what exactly the idea. Data mining is taking out again the mining the data. Okay, so that is what is one of the very important area, and data is huge. Data mining also people call it as it's a data discovery, finding out. It's also called knowledge discovery. You are discovering knowledge from the data. Okay, that's what people also can call it as. Data mining is also called as data discovery or knowledge discovery. And then of course it is a process of automatically extracting. Automatically means mechanically. Mechanically means using computer. Okay, it is automatically extracting hidden and useful information or knowledge from large data stores or data sets. Okay, large, that's what I told you, big data, large data sets are there. From there, what you are doing is automatically, that means using computer, you are extracting, taking out the hidden and useful information, useful data. This is what exactly we call it as. Mining is taking out, extracting very useful information which was so far not known to us. We are taking out from there, from the huge mass of data, big data. That's what exactly it is done mechanically. It is done by the computer, and you are using it for your competitive edge. You are using it for your refinement of your service and products, like so. This is what really taking place. Now, in data mining, as a sophisticated statistical techniques are used in this. Highly sophisticated statistical techniques are used in this. The techniques used are sophisticated. There are some kind of software also. So data mining is a kind of it automates the processes, finding what it does is it finds the relationships between the data components. It also finds the patterns, how this is coming. I'll just tell you something like now we have a big basket, or let me say D-Mart or some other things are etc. there, big market people, isn't it? You know them. Now what happens? For example, you take a survey and study what is to be kept. Now people, those who are purchasing tea powder, tea dust, were also purchasing sugar. Let me know. People purchasing in the DMart or some other supermarkets. Now when you take the data, they get generate the bill and give you your phone number, your data also will be there, isn't it? So your data also will be there, and you are the customer, and then what are the items you really purchased, it was been billed and it was given to you, isn't it? Now the data is always there. So all the bills data, all the customers, all the bills data, okay, you put it one place, it's a big data. Yes or no?
Yes.
Very huge data. From there, you are trying to make some kind of pattern. Pattern means what you say, some method, some style. people, those who are purchasing tea powder, were also purchasing some sugar. Tea and sugar, they go together. That's a common pattern, one by one. When you purchase this, that also you really purchase it, isn't it? Okay, like that. So they said, no, what is how, when how much tea does they purchase, how much sugar they really purchase. If you know these quantities, etc., you assess it. Now, 250 grams of tea powder, they are purchasing 2 kilos of sugar. I know. Then how much sugar I should really kept in the stock? I think you are real. Just then, I'm giving a small example how things are really going to happen, etc. This we never think that there is a relationship between a fellow who is purchasing. So, okay, now are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll continue. Today there are some power problems. Frequently, power is
Weather.
going off. I don't know what's the reason. I don't know. Anyway, so what we are talking is data mining, isn't it? Data mining. So in the corporate environments, in the big establishments, the big companies, lot of data is generated through our own normal transactions. The sales, all those things, etc. Maybe the what you can really say is marketing of information data, then of course the production data, then of course customer related data, then transactions data. That means what is being sold and what is being purchased by who is purchasing, etc. What kind of people are purchasing what items, etc. Who are our most number of people are really coming up. Okay, so all these things you really wanted to try to put them together and then trying to really draw some kind of findings, conclusions you are really going to get from that. So those conclusions are really going to help you in improving your own business, in bringing out a very quality products also, isn't it? So that way, why does so and so particular product? Who is purchasing which product? Why earlier they used to purchase this particular brand, right now they are not purchasing. I think that means what is to be really kept in the store. You know it, you can always think about it. This product we can really you can stop it and get this other product and then keep it there, because people are asking only that you can really keep it. Then if you are really intelligent, you can think about why this particular product is not really interested and why this is interested. I think you can really promote that, how to really improve that and then get more. So like that, this will really help you in getting a lot of information from the huge data. So this is what exactly we can say. This is what we also called as the data mining is also called as DM, which is also called as KDD, knowledge discovery in databases. KDD, knowledge discovery in databases. From the databases, from the data sets, from the huge data, from the big data, you are trying to really find out the knowledge from there. useful information. You are trying to find some kind of information that will really give you solutions to your problems. That is really been happening. It is based on some kind of patterns, etc., will be there. And then, of course, according to data mining is a form of artificial intelligence that uses automated processes to find information. Okay, now it is there are so many definitions are there. I just want to really don't want to go into that. Data mining is a process of extracting previously unknown. This is a good definition. Data mining is the process of extracting information, extracting previously unknown information. So far, we don't know that this data contains some useful information, previously unknown useful information, extracting previously unknown valid actionable information. Actionable means that you can really put into some kind of action activity. So some kind of the action information will be there from large data, that is transactions or database or data warehouse. So the data will be there in data warehouse. Data warehouse is data storage. Okay, so the second component is first is data mining, taking out the data from there, extracting the data. Useful pieces of information will be extracted from the huge data mechanically, automatically by the computer. The valid, so far, you did not really think that it is really going to be useful. So far, previously unknown useful data can be extracted from the big data. That's what we really call it as a database, data mining. It is data mining is the process of extracting knowledge hidden from large volumes of raw data. From the raw data, you are really going to get the knowledge that is hidden in the data. Like, okay, now this is being used in the medicine, the fields like corporate sectors, in medicine, in insurance companies, in banks. All these people can always really use it. Like, okay, so this is going on. They help in tracking other kinds of purchases made by the customers, sales, retailers, goods purchased, goods sold over a time period, and other kinds of data will always be, you can really extract from there. Now, the data mining can help in analyzing the data of different sorts. Different types of data can be analyzed. Sales and contact histories. Now, the other day I purchased some provisions, groceries from D-Mart. My phone number, my data, my details are also there with me. How regularly I go, how much I really purchase, and what I am purchasing, all the cell support data. Okay, that cell companies, mobile companies also. Then demographic data, patient diagnostic data. Then of course click stream, transactional data. Okay, then best prospects, etc., etc. So many different types of the information they can really preserve with them. And the technique what they are going to really use in this OLAP, it is online analytical processing. Earlier, what we used to use is online transaction processing used to be there, but now we are using online analytical processing is a technique that we really use in data mining. And so why we really have this data mining is to the unknown information we can really get it, and that will be useful for the company, etc., organization. So in data mining, what subjects constitutes data mining? You know that computers and computer program the data, and these things are there, isn't it? Then statistical techniques. So now this contains machine learning, this contains artificial intelligence, this contains database design. It has high performance computing techniques are also there. Logical programming is there, and statistics. I think these are all the statistics, logic programming, and then of course database design, high performance computing programming, artificial intelligence, machine learning. All of them are intertwined, combined in what called data mining. Okay, now data mining, the steps involved in this is how the data mining job is done, work is done. First, you have to get to know what you really want to get from that. Okay, you should really try to know the data and task, what you really want to find from that particular data. The data is there, huge amount of data is there. But from that, what you really want to find out? I want to do this. So some patterns I want to learn. Then you have to acquire the data, integrate and check the data whether correctly it is really been there. Then data cleaning means I think you have to really unnecessary data you have to eliminate. And then of course you create a kind of your hypothesis, and then then the data mining will be done. Then testing and verification, like that. These are some of the processes you really do as far as your data mining is really concerned. So deciding what exactly you really want to get from the data. Then of course you collect the data, select the data, and then querying the data and putting it. Then you search the data and get the information. Then you analyze the data or information, etc. And then of course try to assimilation means like to digest or make use of it for a kind of refinement of your own things like. So data mining is mathematical or statistical techniques are always been used, and that's really going to be the technique what they really use is OLAP, and data mining tools are also being used in data mining, and this is going to really they will really help in finding out. These are the examples of OLAP tools include Alpha Box and Alpha Labs Corporation. Business objects from business objects SCA. There are some companies are there which are really providing some kind of the software that will really help us. That is online analytical processing tools like that will be there. I think with that you are going to really do some analysis, and from the huge amount of data, the transactional data and the data available in something like in social media or other databases or external databases, something you collect all of them and then try to really draw some kind of patterns. Patterns are nothing but they are all the models like from there you really derive some. That's what goes on. That's what we call it as data mining. Data you are trying to unearth some useful the information can be found out from the huge amount of data, which so far you did not think that this data also will be able to really give us some kind of clues, some kind of the information, etc. But that can be really done. Now most of the corporate companies are looking for that. The next component what is really been there is data warehousing. Now data warehousing is, I think we have a Food Corporation of India has got a warehouse, isn't it? Anybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, FCI godowns of the what is warehouse? We call them warehouse. What happens then? All the food grains, those food grains are really been preserved there, stored there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What we are going to do is data warehouse is we are warehousing the data. Nothing else. So, but the only thing is that now when you are putting the data warehouse or data, it is kept in an organized way, so that what really happens. So you should be able to retrieve it easily. So where data warehouse is a data storage. Okay, data is being stored there. Data is preserved there for subsequent search and retrieval. After some time, you'll be able to really go there and then try to find out something from there. Like you are really arranging and organizing them in a systematic way, in a methodical way. So it's a large-scale processing and analysis of data that constitutes data warehousing and data mining. But when I have to really say the data warehouse, it's a repository of subjectively selected, adopted operational data which can successfully answer any ad hoc or complex statistical analytical queries. So this is to be understood. It's a repository of subjectively selected operational data. Operational transaction data are there now. Your business activities are going on. That data is really been preserved there. Subjectively, selectively, everything is not kept there. You thought this particular component will give you some information to you, then you put it there, and then which can be successfully there. It is really going to give you some clues, answers to you tomorrow for some of your questions, maybe complex or something like that. It is comfortable, convenient for the statistical analysis auto. In that way, really, you really preserve the particular information. Like the data that can be used in data warehousing can be classified into three categories. Three kinds of data can be really reference and transaction data. Number one, transaction data. Daily you have operations are there, selling, purchasing, all that kind of data. Okay. Then of course, which originates from the operation systems. Derived data, that's the data or reference transaction data. And then, of course, the denormalized data, which is the basis of online analytical processing tools. Then that's why there are three types of data really been kept there. And another definition for the data warehouse is that it's a collection of integrated databases, not one single database. Data warehouse is a collection of databases. Okay. Then, of course, designed to support managerial decision making. What you are going to do with that? Now, your warehouse is nothing but it's a different databases are really been preserved there in a methodical, organized way, so that you can tomorrow you can make some kind of the statistical other kinds of analysis to derive some kind of useful information from them. So, Bill Inman is called the father of data warehousing. And he says it is a data warehousing is a subject-oriented data. It is on one single subject, one area. Okay, subject-oriented data. It's integrated, combined. All the databases and datasets are really been combined. Time, variant over a particular. Maybe it is 1 year, 5 years data is there. 3 years data is there with you. So huge. Okay, then it is a non-volatile collection. That means the data once it is there, it won't change. Non-volatile. Okay, standard data. Data in support of management decisions is really been there. That's what exactly what we Inman is called. Bill Inman is really going to call as the father of data warehousing. Said that. Okay, then it is a simplest form. Data warehouse is no more than a collection of pieces of information used to manage and direct the business for the most profitable outcome. So what all these things you are going to do is my business should really prosper. So ultimately that thing what I am really going to do help me to make my business very flourishable like that. Okay. Now in this the data warehouse, because why this data warehousing concept, data mining concept has really come up is there are several reasons are there. What we can really say is the data explosion. Data is really been exploding like anything, coming up like anything. Okay, so much of data is being created, like increasing power and decreasing cost of the computer. So power of the computer for calculating or processing is high speeds are coming. The costs of the computers are coming down. Initially, when I purchased one small computer, I think desktop computer, I spent maybe about 50,000 rupees in those days. Maybe initially, okay, 50,000 rupees in those days. I think if I can really spend even 30,000 rupees, I get a good laptop. Okay, so the costs are coming down. Computer speed and computer processing speed, I think the RAM or then storage space, processing speed, many things are being increased like anything. So that's what really happening because of all the ever increasing power of server software. Then push technology, like the data is really been going email, marketing data, telemarketing, news, electronic service, etc. Then business is competitive now. You should so when we have to withstand in the competition. So because of that, data mining, data warehousing really been a very big important area. It is being used by the corporate sectors. It can also be used by even libraries also. The library transactions, library users data, users queries, reference services. You can really apply that also, but not very big data. But of course, still you can really do from there. Because what this data mining or data warehousing, data mining is really been integrated with the artificial learning is there, computer techniques or structural techniques are also there. Then the programming languages are there. They start OLAP online. Then analytical processing techniques are all, these are all being used in that. Okay. Now coming back to the last component in this is web mining. So on the web, a lot of information is there. Internet and www, lot of information is there. Like mining the data from data storehouses. Now the web mining is also another important data. You are really going to the web data is just another very big source of information. And then of course the business people will also want to benefit from this web resources and web data is there about each and every organization. So web mining has therefore become very important for analyzing the web data to make some kind of findings and conclusions. And now there are I think the three operations are active are there. One is clustering, is grouping the data. Then other one is associations, and I think which has got the relationship with other things, that's for the pattern making. And the third component, what is really being talked about, sequential analysis. I think the three process will be really used in web mining. The data contained in on the web, when you are mining, it is web mining. Okay, then the data contained in your database, etc., that is data mining. The data warehousing is a repository of all the data sets. The complex data is really be there, organized perfectly well. So this is what the data warehousing and data mining, etc. Okay, I think this is what as far as the unit number 15 is really concerned. If you want any questions on these two units, or should I talk something about your last unit is there, unit 16, library expert systems. If you want, I will talk about them in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and shall we conclude, or shall I stop it here now? Please tell me, should I stop it here, or say something about your last unit?
Start.
Hello?
Sir, continue, sir.
Okay, I will tell briefly about the last unit also, because this is my last class. There won't be any class now. This is the library expert systems. I think I gave you some time ago a little data, a little information about what is this expert systems. Okay, expert system is a computer program. What is expert system? Expert system is a computer program. It has a knowledge of experts with it. I'll tell you a little later now. In its knowledge base. So what is expert system is, say I was just giving you an example in the some time ago, maybe in the last class or before that, I was just giving an example, talking a little about expert systems also. So in expert system, what happens? The expert systems make use of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. What is natural intelligence? We, the human being, have got the natural intelligence is with us now. Computer also would like to develop the intelligence like the human beings, like the human experts in the field. Okay, I have some knowledge, some experience. With my experience and with my knowledge, I take some decisions. Imagine I'm a doctor. I'm a cardiologist. I'm a nephrologist. Is it okay? Is it all right now?
Yes.
Okay. So Shall we continue? Shall we continue? Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Right, that's good. Okay, Mahesh, fine. So now what is really happening in this is, so expert systems, they make use of the artificial intelligence. Okay. Now in expert systems, what will be there is, say for example, the medical doctors, they have some out of their own, degrees, what they really got, maybe MD, this, that, all those things, such as specializations, maybe out of their own experience in treating the patients, they have got a, expert knowledge is there with them. Expert knowledge is there in handling or treating the patients. Now, what is this expert system wants is, we are talking expert system is nothing but it's a computer program. This computer program has got these medical doctors' expertise, like that expertise is available with the human beings, the people, with the doctors. Say, for example, the doctor's expert knowledge is collected and kept as a knowledge base in the computer. We are keeping their own experience in the database, in the computer database. The expert cardiologists, their experiences, their knowledge is kept and kept in the programmed and kept there in our expert system. So what exactly the definition of your expert system is, I think I have got a definition here, I'll tell you now. It's a field of study that deals with the capacity of the machine. It's a field that deals with the capacity of the machine. Machine is computer, okay? Capacity of the machine to stimulate or surpass the intelligent human behavior. Intelligent human being, how good, how scholarly, how knowledgeable he is, same way it also, computer also want to behave like that. You don't, if you have got a medical expert system, you don't need to go to a doctor. You ask that particular computer expert system to find out what is your problem, what could be your treatment. That will, the computer will tell you. Don't, because the knowledge of the doctors is collected, pooled and programmed and kept in the computer. And that is really been what you really say. This is with the computer. The knowledge of the human being is kept in the computer memory, computer database. That's an artificial knowledge, artificial intelligence. The knowledge, when it is with us, this is original intelligence. This is a kind of what is okay. No, this is the human intelligence that really been brought and kept in the computer memory. Like in our memory we have knowledge, isn't it? So that is kind of human, the knowledge that is really been there. Our expert knowledge is kept in the computer, programmed. Then normally it does works like this: if and then. Okay, if you have got a kind of this problem is there, that means you have this particular disease is there. If this is there, then that is there. If and then, I think that could be the way how the computer will really be questioning you, trying to find out your problem. If that is the case, I think you have this problem. If this is a problem, then you have to really go for this kind of treatment. It will really advise you. So it's for problem solving only. Those expert doctors always will not be available to you everywhere. If the expert systems are there, they will tell you your problem and your solution. So what is your disease and what is your treatment? They will tell you. The computer will tell you. Computer is nothing but, computer is also having similar to the expert doctors and their experience, how they have got, how they really make analysis. When you go to a patient, a doctor will tell you, what's your problem? Same is the key. It also will ask you, the computer, what's your problem? I have this problem. So how long you are having this problem? Or maybe for this thing, like, you have any other kinds of effect like this? Are you having something like vomiting, etc.? Is there? No, you have got some kind of, diarrhea kind of problems are there? No. You have got any kind of, irritation is there, maybe in the stomach or something like that? No. You have got any kind of fatigueness is there? No. So it is really been calculating all the data, what you are really giving to that, and trying to, like a doctor, expert doctor, when he really makes assessment assessment, and ultimately says that if this are the problems, issues are there, that means you have this disease. It's coming down like. Okay, so like that, these expert systems are nothing but they are like they want to they collect. Artificial intelligence is a field of study that deals with the capacity of the machine or the computer. The computer machine has a capacity to stimulate or surpass the intelligence of the human, intelligence of like the people. Experts' intelligence is like how they really do it. The computer also will do the same thing. Inquire, take that. If this is there, this is there, this is there, then this could be your disease. That will really come out and tell you like. That's what exactly happens as well as what you call as expert systems. So now we can also use expert systems in libraries also. There is a kind of component is real in library budgeting, in library book selection, in library, cataloging, in library classification. Okay, in all these areas you can use. Somebody will ask you what is expert system, where you can apply in budgeting, in planning, in library document acquisition, so in document cataloging, document classification, in many areas. Because when you are really been doing, say for example, I'll tell you. Now one book is there. Now it has got 3 authors are there for the book. Then you have to make the catalog entry. You are doing cataloging for the book. Okay. Now the computer will ask you how many authors are there for the book. There are 3 authors. Then you ask the computer, now what is the main entry for this book? When they say the first author or the principal author, you should be really given the main entry. The second author and third author will be given add entries in the manual way of doing your catalog. Like that's what exactly. No, there are 4 authors are there. Okay, is there any principal author is identified in that? You will ask the question. No principal author identified. If that is the case, now what happens? It says you make the main entry on the title and then try to give the first author as a one add entry. Over. So this is a solution. So this is the knowledge what a cataloger has got. What's the knowledge? What is from your rules and all? The rules and the knowledge and the experience of the people is collected and kept in that. And then you are using the artificial intelligence, that is the intelligence available in the computer. Computer has got the knowledge. Now the knowledge is really been collected from the human beings. The knowledge is really been kept there. And that knowledge is used as artificial intelligence by the computer, and computer takes a decision. Computer gives the solution for the problem. Like so, like that. In these are the areas in which the computer can give you the answers. Like that's what we can really say. Alan Turing in 1950, he formulated a test called a Turing test. Now, in that, whereby a machine can be deemed to perform intelligently as human being. So Alan Turing said, computer also can work like a human being. As computer, how he uses his brain, how a human being uses his brain, computer can also use its brain and then work like a human being, provided you collect the expert knowledge of the human beings in which and which situation, how they really people really react and then take decision. Same, you really keep it. That knowledge base is there. Knowledge base is there. Your programming is there. Your software is there. It uses that artificial knowledge, expert knowledge, and gives a decisions, like gives a solutions to you. Like okay, that's what really it happened. It works like a intelligent human being. Like computers to simulate the functioning of the neural nets of the brain, like your neural nets in the brain, how they are really working. Computer should also work. That's what Alan Turing was really been talking about artificial intelligence. Like okay, now here what you can really say is the basic elements of artificial intelligence is the heuristic search. Like that means experience based search, like the heuristic search, and to discover the solution of problem. So like with making use of the previous experiences, people will take a decision on that. Okay, so that, but where is the experience for the computer? Computer has no experience, isn't it? Computer is a machine, it can't retain the experience, but the experiences you are collecting and keeping as a database and programming there to make use for your decisions. Like then of course heuristic search path, that means you really build the hierarchical such as like something is what you can a bigger subject, a narrowed subject, a much narrowed subject, something like the concepts are really been built there. Then knowledge representation is readily access to perform cognitive functions. In that what you can really say is it has got semantic relationships, etc. can really use it. That's one thing. Then of course there will be an inference engine, logical deductions, like you can really derive some kind of conclusions. All those things can be really done. So this is what exactly we artificial intelligence systems develop tools like Lisp and Prolog are the programs. So using this Now they can really perform the job. Prolog and then Lisp are the programming languages that are used in artificial intelligence. Okay, then the application of artificial intelligence can be, you can really use it for searching, reasoning, adapting new situations, learning new skills. Then of course, the artificial intelligence can really help you in recognizing the people, facial recognition techniques are come, and then they can also learn new language, how to learn new language, how to diagnose a disease. Okay, like that it can really use in many places. It can be in text processing, speech synthesis, okay, machine translation, computer aided instruction, all these things you can really use it like. So these are the expert systems are nothing but these are the computer programs into which has been incorporated the knowledge of experts in the particular field. So medical is a particular field, library science is a particular field. So the experts' knowledge is gathered and kept in that. Okay, and so that the non-experts, those who are not experts, they can also use it for making decisions, like the experts have taken a decision. So because of this, the experts, their own expertise is really kept in the computer. Okay, to evaluate and inference, etc., can be really done. Like expert systems are the branch of artificial intelligence, and their knowledge-based systems, and their knowledge is there already. Human beings' expert knowledge is kept in them. Okay, and then of course, what you can really do from this is there will be a software interface with this kind of. There will be a knowledge database, and there will be a computer program. These three things will be there: one knowledge database, then user interface, and also a what you can really say software interface, like how to interact with your computer system, you and me, and that could be there. This is what exactly will be there in expert systems. We have library expert system, catalog expert systems, we have classification expert systems, we have expert systems for, let me say, something like your staff management, your budgeting. In all these areas, we can always use the expert systems. So you have a expert's knowledge is kept there, you have a programming knowledge is there, you have an interface is there, how to search the computer and then get the data. So how it does works is, if and then, the other two things are there. If you have this and this situation is there, then this could be a solution for that. It will really try to find out, it will search, it will interact with you, and then come to a kind of conclusion, like an extremely expert fellow in the field. How you can really take a decision, the similar kind of decisions can be really taken using the expert systems. This is all about your these 3 units I have just covered in this almost 2 hours place. Now you have any doubts are there, or 1 or 2 doubts, I think you will try to answer you. I think this is the end of your own the talk. Yes, you have something to check with me, please ask. Anybody has any questions or any doubts? Somebody put something in chat, but you put it here. Please continue, sir. Sir is expert system and invisible college, one and the same. This is Mahesh. Mahesh is here. Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, expert system and invisible college are not one and the same. They are different. Invisible college means what you say. If say a regular college is a visible college. You go to your own college and try to take information. So invisible colleges are nothing but your conferences, meetings, seminars. They are invisible colleges. Okay, invisible college means the conferences and the meetings. They are not colleges, but from there you are getting knowledge. They are like colleges giving you information or knowledge, but they are not visible colleges. They are not to be correctly called as colleges. So invisible, not seeable college. So expert system is something. In expert system, what happens? In that particular subject, several experts in the field, their knowledge, their expertise is collected and programmed and kept as a knowledge base. Your computer uses that kind of knowledge as a kind of intelligence, and it will really react to a problem like an expert doctor, an expert cataloger, an expert scientist. How he really answers, computer also will answer you. an expert doctor, how the problem is diagnosed, the computer also will diagnose you, because several experts in the field, their own experiences, their own expertise has been really collected and pooled and organized and kept it as a knowledge base. From the knowledge base, if and then formula. What you have got the problem? What is it? When it is there, all these things check and then try to really give you an answer to that. This is what done by the expert system. So expert systems are nothing but they are part of the artificial intelligence. Okay, so not both are not same. Sir, is expert system and oh, this is same question, isn't it? Any more questions? Anything else? Anything else? No, sir, but which page? Okay, this I told you already. 272. Direct message. All clear. All clear. Anything? If either you ask me, unmute and ask. Otherwise, you put in the chat box. No problem. I will answer to you. Seminars, conferences, meetings are going to be called as invisible colleges. Mr. Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
You got the difference between the expert system and invisible college? You got it or not?
Yes, sir. Got it.
That's good. Next. Any questions? Anybody? Anything which you don't know? You did not follow when I am talking. OLAP is online analytical processing. Okay. Earlier, we used to really maintain online transaction processing used to be there. So we were processing only transactions. So what is sold, what is purchased, etc. That's online transaction processing in the past. Now in the data mining concept, the technique what we are using is online analytical processing. We are making analysis of the data, the huge data, in order to get some kind of hidden useful facts are there in the data. We are trying to really find out from the data mining. The huge data is there, huge data, the transactions and other kinds of data is there. From there, you are trying to really find out some kind of pattern. Pattern is that chai dust, sugar will be purchased side by side. That's a pattern, isn't it? Those who are purchasing milk are also purchase sugar, isn't it? So that like that, this is a pattern. It goes like that. So then what happens, your business fellow? I think when I am having this along with this, when I am really good, I will tell you one small example. When you go and then trying to purchase your chicken masala also sold in the same shop, isn't it? So masala also really required. That also you purchase. So like that, they keep there only, so that that will be sold, the profit for them, and the customer is happy because everything is getting then and there only. So like that. Anyway, next.
Sir, important questions చెప్తారా?
I don't know. All are important. So you go to the previous some 3 years question papers, 2 to 3 years. So that will really help you. That could be the strong base for you. At least you go to 2 or minimum 2, maximum at least 3. 3 years question papers, you just try to collect and then answer them. Probably you will be very comfortably able to answer other things also. So normally in the examinations, people ask only some important things. So that could be the important for you from the exam point of view, isn't it? So see that 2-3 years question papers will help you.
Sir, answers points wise రాయాలా థియరీ టైప్?
అర్థం కాలేదు మరి చెప్పండి.
పాయింట్స్ టైప్ రాయాలా 1 to నెంబర్ సార్ థియరీ టైప్?
ఏది రాసినా కూడా ఏంటంటే పేరాగ్రాఫ్స్ కింద స్ప్లిట్ చేసి రాయండి. అంత ఒకటే పేజీలో మొదటి నుంచి వరకు ఒకటే స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఒకటే ఎండింగ్ కాకుండా యూ స్ప్లిట్ ఇంటూ డిఫరెంట్ పారాగ్రాఫ్స్, యూజ్ డిఫరెంట్ సబ్ హెడింగ్స్, హెడింగ్స్ సబ్ హెడింగ్స్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటూ డిఫరెంట్ పారాగ్రాఫ్స్ లో రాయండి. దెన్ యూ విల్ బి ఏబుల్ టు గెట్, అంటే ఆ చూడడానికి తొందరగా అందరికి చూసే ఎగ్జామ్ తొందరగా అర్థమవుతుంది. అంత ఒకటే ఓల్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఒకటే లాట్ లాగా రాస్తే ఏమైందంటే అది కొంచెం వెంటనే క్యాచ్ కాదు చూసే వాళ్ళకి. సో స్ప్లిట్ ఇంటూ డిఫరెంట్ పారాగ్రాఫ్స్, try to write your answers under different subheadings. That will really help you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we stop, or anybody has anything to ask? Where we can get those previous exam papers? Your study center will help you. The study center will help you. They will be having question papers with them. Otherwise, if you are coming to, or the master's degree people are coming to, I think Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University at Jubilee, isn't it? There also they will get it. Otherwise, your coordinators are there, like Raja Gaud and Mr. Kiran. They will also help you. Check with your study center library, study center, they will help you. Otherwise, these people will help you. Any more things?
Sir, essay questions any pages రాయాలి సార్ minimum?
అట్లా ఏముండదమ్మా. మీరు రాస్తున్నప్పుడు ఏంటంటే దాంట్లో అట్లా ఇన్ని పేజీలు రాయాలని ఇక్కడ అట్లా రూల్స్ ఎట్లాగా ఉండవు. ఏంటంటే మీరు రాస్తున్నప్పుడు మీకే అర్థమవుతుంది. మీకు ఇచ్చిన టైం ఇంతలో ఇన్ని ఎస్ఏ టైప్ క్వశ్చన్స్ చేయాలి, ఇన్ని షార్ట్ నోట్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ రాయాలని ఉంది కదా. అవన్నీ దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మీరు టైంని సేపటికి బాగా స్టోరీలు రాసినట్టు కాకుండా ఎసెన్స్ రాస్తా పోండి, కోర్ కాంపోనెంట్ రాస్తా పోండి, పారాగ్రాఫ్లు రాయండి, సబ్ హెడ్డింగ్స్ రాయండి. ఒకవేళ ఇంకా మీకు బాగా సబ్జెక్ట్ మీద మంచి గ్రిప్ ఉంటే ఒక క్వశ్చన్ వేసినప్పుడు ఆ క్వశ్చన్ కి దానికి రిలేటెడ్ గా ఉన్న ఇష్యూస్ కూడా కొంచెం రాయొచ్చు. మీరు ఏమన్నా అది ఉంది, ఇది దీనికి సంబంధం ఏంటి అట్లా కూడా రాయొచ్చు అనమాట. Any other questions? I think almost 5 o'clock now. We will wind up.
Any doubts? We calling sir anytime. Phone contact లో ఉండొచ్చు సార్, అంటే సబ్జెక్ట్ చదవాలి.
మాట్లాడి అడగండి, నాకు చెప్తున్నాను, తప్పేం లేదు.
సార్.
So we'll stop it for now. Okay. Is all right now? We will wind up for today. Close chedama session.
Okay, sir.
Once again, nice of you. All the best. Go ahead. Thank you.